This
All the OET.
conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, all the OET people, doctors and nurses out there. So once again, we are here with another session of ours. And today's session is, every time I take a session, I always say that this session is one of the most important part of OET writing, and it forms a very significant criteria when you take an OET examination. But indeed, the session that we are going to discuss today forms one of the skeletal parts of OET writing. Of course, all of you have arrived here at this platform, that is Teach You Academy, with a lot of expectations as to what new is going to get discussed over here. And all of you know that today's session is exclusively over connectors. So, of course, to keep your expectations up to the mark, we would discuss connectors today. And let us begin. So here we are. As the name of today's session very well suggests, that empower your writing with connectors. That is what we are going to do. Today we will try to learn all those sorts of conjunctions and connectors which build up sentences to paraphrase certain case notes. I hope I'm properly audible to all of you. If somebody is having a problem, kindly let us know in the chat window so that we can help you out. So fine, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that we always wonder is that we have many a times listened to this word connectors, and whenever we search something for OET writing, or we browse through some videos or texts that describe the tactics of OET writing, we always come across the usage of connectors. So then why is everybody, every teacher, and why is OET specifically emphasizing so much upon the use of connectors? Why is it so? During my last session, I told you that whenever we write a letter, the person who is reading our letter, or the person who is checking our letter, is not basically checking as to how we write, because everybody in this world can write. Everybody in this world can write. What can a person not do? In fact, there are certain things in which people find constraint is to form 2 or 3 sentences. And in OET writing, we basically have to paraphrase the case notes. Now, what is this paraphrasing? This paraphrasing is that we have to connect 2 or 3 sentences to form one single sentence. Now, how can one single sentence be formed through 3 or 4 or 5 case note pieces? Okay, I give you a very, very small example. Suppose we have 3 pieces of a string and we have to connect them. How will we connect them? We will tie them. Similarly, we have to tie our sentences, our little sentences, we have to tie them to form a single string. Now the knots formed are our connectors. I hope with this notion, with this imagination, you must have understood as to what connectors are. Now it depends upon the person that how beautifully the person ties the knots. If the knots are tied beautifully, there would be no flaws throughout the wire. Similarly, we have to tie those case note pieces beautifully to form one sentence. So as I told you that what are connectors? What basically connectors are? So we have understood connectors are those small words that connect 2 or 3 sentences. For example, I like coffee. I like biscuits. These are 2 sentences. Let's connect them. I like coffee and biscuits. That is it. I repeat once again. I like coffee, one sentence. I like biscuits, another sentence. Let's connect both of them. I like coffee and biscuits. So here, the word and is the connector. The word and was that knot which connected two pieces of a string to form one piece of string. Beautiful. So this is what connectors are. Here we have shown a string tied. This is the knot, and this knot is the connector between the two pieces of the string. Now, the question arises that why does people pay so much of focus upon the usage of connectors? Why are connectors so significant? Why are connectors so significant? Because the examiner who is going to check for your copies, the examiner who is going to check your paraphrasing would basically look as to whether you have used the connectors properly or not. If you have used connectors appropriately, you would be able to fetch maximum of the marks. So this is the significance of connectors while writing. I would narrate this, the emphasis, the significance, and the importance of connectors through a very small story, the story of the elephant and the rope. So once upon a time in a city, there was a jungle. By the jungle, there was a zoo. In that zoo, there used to live many animals. Amongst those animals were elephants also there. Elephants, their babies, lions, squirrels, birds, all sorts of animals used to live in that zoo. So one day what happened? That a man came to visit the zoo along with his children. They were walking by the zoo when immediately they stopped by a huge elephant and they saw that the elephant was tied by a very small piece of rope. Now the children and the man was wondering that why is that strong, enormous elephant not breaking the rope off? The elephant could easily break the rope and escape the zoo into the forest. It could have acquired independence. But even then, why is the elephant not breaking this rope? They were very curious. They were seeing that this is such a huge animal, such a strong animal, and still it is just so pathetic to see that it is tied. So they called upon the trainer and they asked this question to the trainer. The trainer replied that, sir, when these are babies, infants, we tie them with the same piece of ropes. The young baby is not able to break that rope. The young infant elephant tries to break the rope again and again and again, but is not able to break the rope. So what happens is that when the elephant grows up, it starts thinking that throughout my life, I would never be able to break this rope. The baby elephant conditions his mind accordingly that I would never be able to break the rope, and thus a small piece of rope connects that huge animal through the fence. So this is why I want to tell you that since a small rope can bind an elephant, a huge animal, similarly, our small little words like for, although, however, but, they can construct huge sentences into meaningful one sentence. So this is where the significance of connectors lie. Now, in our last session, we had discussed so much about punctuation marks. We were discussing the use of commas, the use of semicolons, colons, and everything. And in that session, I made you understand a very small trick of conjunctions, that is fanboys. Fanboys is a mnemonic that we have self-devised, that we have self-constructed, and it stands for somewhat like this. Fanboys. F stands for, A for and, N for not, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. Kindly look at your screens. Please look focused to what these conjunctions are. So In our last session, I told you that we have to put a comma always whenever we use these fanboys, that is for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. Let's take a few examples. Now, before taking examples, I want to tell you that these are connectors, these are conjunctions that can connect two sentences, just like I told you recently that I like coffee and I like biscuits are two different sentences. These are two different independent clauses, and we can connect them by using and, like I like coffee and biscuits. We always have to remember that whenever we use this fanboys, that is for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, we always put a comma before these words. Let's come to the examples. Just look here. For is used in place of because. There is an example in front of you. I told her to leave for I was very tired. We could have used I told her to leave because I was very tired. Here, for is used. You look at your screens. Here, for is used, and we have placed a comma before for. Do you see it? Aruna has asked me a question that I like coffee and biscuits. Will we use a comma before and? No, Aruna, we will not use a comma before and. I will make you understand this thing in our coming minutes. Let us see. You just pay your focus. You just make your focus stand by through these slides. The next mnemonic A, that stands for and. I like football and I like hockey. These are two sentences. The person is trying to say that I like football, I like hockey. We have connected both. I like football and I like hockey. Now here we have placed a comma before and. Just hold on. Let me say I like football and hockey. Kindly tell me, if I say I like football and hockey, will we place a comma before and? Kindly write in your chat windows. The sentence is I like football and hockey. All of you are replying no. Very nice. This means that you have imbibed through my last session into your brains. Very nice. We will not use a comma when we say I like football and hockey. But when we say I like football and I like hockey, we will place a comma before and. This is the beauty of English. This is the beauty of writing. When we speak, we do not use punctuation marks. When we write, we use them, and we must know how to use them. The next mnemonic N stands for nor. I have neither done the dishes nor the lemons. Kindly take a look at your screens. We have used all the mnemonics, fanboys. Let us see at so. So is signified for therefore. So here, it was still painful, so I went to see a doctor. We will place a comma before so here. I am writing in the chat window. Everybody see the last sentence. Kindly see the last sentence. I'm writing it here. It was still painful, comma, so I went to see the doctor. Full stop. Look at the chat window. I have written it correctly. It was still painful, comma, so I went to see the doctor. Now, can you tell me which of these sentences is wrongly written? Write in your chat windows. There are 3 or 4 sentences here which have been written wrongly. Which are those? You just kindly write the name of the connector. I will understand. and. No, and is correctly written. For is correctly written. Nor is wrongly written. Or and nor. Or, nor, and so. Or, nor, and so. And also but. But is also wrongly written. So we will place a comma before these. I hope with this notion you have understood the use of fanboys, and we had discussed it very descriptively in our last session also. Now let's take a few more examples. All these sentences are wrong. Kindly correct them. Just let me know as to where should the comma be placed in the first sentence. Please write in your chat windows. But very nice. I'm correcting it here in front of your screens. Kindly go on looking. Here a comma will be placed in the next sentence, sentence number 2. Sentence number 2. Here a comma should be put. Sentence number 3. We eventually found the cave, but, comma, but. She would not eat ham and eggs. Is this sentence correct or wrong? Please tell me. She would not eat ham and eggs. Correct or wrong? Correct. Very nice. Very nice. It's correct. It's correct because here 2 objects are given. 2 phrases are not given. 2 clauses are not given. 2 items had been given. Then 5th sentence. Is this correct? Fish, chips, salt, and peas. Correct. And I told you in our last session that we can place a comma here also if we like. Whenever we are listing things, we can or we cannot place a comma. They didn't come, comma, so I left. They didn't come, so I left. I go to the library, comma, for I love to read. So this is the correct sentences. These are the correct sentences. I have corrected all the sentences. Kindly take a glance at the screen and confirm at your ends. So this was how we use fanboys. Let's come now. So we at Teach You Academy, we have formulated the connectors that we use in OET writing. Majority of the students sometimes get confused that which connectors should be used and which connectors should be avoided. So we at Teach You Academy have exclusively devised and we have made a research. We have carried out a research over the last few exams patterns and the way they have been analyzed. So we came to a conclusion that these are the connectors that are there on your screens that should be used. In fact, these must be used while OET writing. Once again, I want to tell you that if you are a nurse or you are a doctor, this session is exclusively for you. That the OET writing examination stands the same for both the nurses and the doctors. It does not show any discrimination towards as to what your profession is. So if you are a nurse or you are a doctor, you have to pay focus upon all the writing sessions that we are going to take at Teach You Academy. And this is what we have formulated. These are the connectors that we must have to use while we take an OET examination. These connectors are although, therefore, subsequently, consequently, which resulted in, for which, because of, in order to, followed by, following. Now, would you be able to remember it? Well, I don't think so. When I first came across all these words, they sounded a bit confusing to me. So I thought that what methods should I devise so that my students do not face a problem while using these connectors. So I was just looking at this screen for a very long time. I was just playing with the first letters of every word when I came to a method, a very silly method, you can say, and you must be wondering as to whether this would be applicable here or not, but 100% it would be. What do you see at your screen? Okay, fine. What do you see at your screen? Can you reply in the chat windows? What is this? Can you tell me? What is this that you are looking at your screens? Car crash. Yeah, the car is crashed. Car skid. The car was very furious, no? It must have been at a very high speed. Do not you think so? The car was at a very, very high speed. The car was very swift. Now look at our screen and we look at our screen. These are the connectors and this is a car at a very high speed. So you must be wondering as to what sir is about to come with. I'm going to come up with a very little word, a swift car. And since the car was so swift that we used 3 F's here. The car was in such a high speed, it was so swift that we are spelling swift as swift. Sarcastically, we have used 3 F's here. No? So let us see as to what does this mnemonic signify. Swift, cab, a cab. S for subsequently. Subsequently. W for which resulted in. I for in order to. F for which. Then the next F stands for followed by. The third F stands for following. T stands for therefore. The swift. Hilariously. C for consequently. A for although. And B for because of. So this was a cab. It was in such a high speed that it ran through your brains and it crashed your brains and left a mark. Mark of what? A mark of connectors. And these are the connectors. Can you look at your screens? We have 10 connectors that we significantly have to use whenever we take an OET writing examination. Then I showed you a screen of a car that is crashed since it was in a very high speed, and this is a cab. This car is a cab basically. It was in a very high speed, so we cited it as swift cab, a very swift cab, and since it was so swift that we used 3 F's here, and each of the letters of the swift cab stands like this as shown on your screens, and in this way you would never be able to forget the connectors that we have to use. I hope with this notion that you are able to understand as to what connectors do we have to use. So until now, till this session, we have 2 methods of learning connectors. The first one is fanboys. The first one is fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Fanboys. Secondly, we have another trick to learn connectors and the connectors which have to be used in OET specifically. Look, there are a number of connectors used in English, but for OET examinations, we will use basically these 10 connectors, and in order to learn these connectors, I have devised a method, I have formulated a trick, and that is swift cab through which you would be able to learn these connectors. These connectors are, I repeat, subsequently, which resulted in order to, for which, followed by, following, therefore, consequently, although, because of. Now, in this session, we would take the first three connectors. We will take the next remaining connectors in our next session on the coming Sunday. We at Teachio Academy try to formulate a pedagogy of learning which follows medical aspects and the English grammatical aspects of OET writing. So whenever we take a session, the first session is taken by Dr. Bhavna Sharma, and Dr. Sharma explains you the medical intricacies of OET writing. The next day, that is Manuj, I take your English session in which I make you learn the intricacies of English while writing the OET examination. So at Teachio Academy, we are trying hard and we are using all sorts of toil, moil and endeavors in order to equip you and facilitate you to fetch maximum of the marks by incorporating both sort of pedagogies of learning, that is the medical aspects of OET examinations along with the English aspects of the OET writing examinations. So as you know, yesterday Dr. Bhavna took a session of yours of the medical intricacies of the very test, and today I have taken the English section of this very test. In this we are discussing connectors, and we would take first three connectors here in this session. The remaining sessions we'll take in the next session on coming Sunday. So till now, once again I recapitulate that we have learned two pedagogies of learning connectors, the first one being fanboys and the second one is Swift Cap. Let's take subsequently. Now, what is this subsequently? Why is it used? Can somebody tell me? Kindly reply in your chat windows, because until and unless you reply, I won't be able to imbibe into your brains the learning pedagogies. What do you understand by subsequently? What is this word? Where do we use it? What does it signify? Finally, after that, one event after other. Very nice, Iru. Anita, after that, very nice. Dr. Hasnat, finally. Finally is fine. As a result of something. As a result of something, no. Following, no. Just after that, yes. After that, yes. As a result of something is the wrong answer. So let's see here. If we have to use subsequently, we must know that why consequently is used and where consequently is used. So Bakar, yeah, subsequently, I'm sorry. So Aruna has replied later. Very nice. Here we see subsequently is used when a particular thing has happened. Something has happened. Something has happened and you are extending it in your writing. So you will place subsequently in the middle. I'm repeating, something has happened and you are extending the incident. You will place subsequently in the middle, afterwards or later. So 90% of you replied correctly. Those 10% having confusions would surely would not have any confusions after this session, I believe. Let's learn these by examples. Here we have a case note, a casual case note apart from medical. He realized he had hurt her feelings. He apologized. Can you paraphrase this, these two small sentences, phrases into one sentence? Dr. Uzma is saying, subsequently blood tests were ordered. Very nice. This is how we use subsequently, and this is what the examiner will check in your OET letters, that whether you have used connectors or not. So on your screens are two pieces of a sentence. You have to convert it into one sentence. So Aruna has replied, subsequently he apologized. He realized he hurt her feelings. Subsequently he apologized. Very nice. Aruna, very nice. Iru, very nice. Fasiha, nice. Hema, very nice. Subsequently he apologized. Let's see how we write. Now please, ladies and gentlemen, put all your focus on the screen. You would here see that whatever you replied to me was correct, but there was one flaw. What was that? The correct answer is, he realized he had hurt her feelings. Then we will place a semicolon. We will place a semicolon. And then we will write, subsequently he apologized. We could have written it in another manner also. We could have written in another method also, like I could have written, he realized he had hurt her feelings, full stop. Subsequently he apologized, full stop. But if we are using one sentence instead of two sentences, we will place a semicolon before the connector and a comma after the connector. Always remember, I'm writing in the chat window. Everybody see here, semicolon, connector, comma. This is how you write. Everybody look at your chat windows. Whenever we use a connector, do not use a connector naked. Place a semicolon and a colon. Make the connector wear clothes. In the same manner, we wear makeup, we wear proper clothes, we wear a perfume whenever we go out. So never let your connector go naked anywhere. Cover it in two clothes. And what are those clothes? A semicolon and a comma. So whenever you use a connector, use a semicolon and a comma, and in the middle connector. I repeat, a semicolon, connector, comma. And if you wish not to use semicolon, you can place a full stop. Are you able to understand? If you are able to understand, kindly reply with Y. And if you have a confusion, please let me know. Okay, fine, very nice. You can reply with a Y. It would be quick and I would be able to understand as to whether I'm going right or not. Because all of us are in learning phases. Nobody is a perfect teacher. We learn from cradle till the grave. Fine. Let's take another sentence. This is a case note. Mrs. Jones suffered an attack of cerebral palsy, needed hospitalization or needed hospital admission for 4 antibiotics. Mariam has asked, can we put comma only? No. Either you have to place a full stop connector or semicolon connector, then comma. Semicolon connector, comma, or full stop connector in capital letters and then comma. So here we have a case note piece in front of you. Kindly write in the chat windows the correct answer. How would you transform? How will you paraphrase this case note? Comma, subsequently, comma, palsy, comma, subsequently, comma, needed hospital admission. Very nice, Aruna, Zana, Hasnat, Iru. Very nice. I'm very happy. You are grasping the things very correctly. You are making me feel proud. Very nice. Others also reply. Fasiha, shouldn't we put comma before the apologized? No. Why will we place a comma before apologized? No. See, Rafia has asked a very nice question that, sir, earlier you told us that we use a comma before for and all those. So this is a rule of English. Whenever you use fanboys, put a comma before fanboys. Whenever you use connectors, whenever you use Swift cab, you place semicolon, connector and comma fanboys. Just make a rule. It's very simple. Comma fanboys, semicolon, connector, comma. These are two rules. Comma fanboys, semicolon, connector, comma. It's as simple as that. So the correct answer, very nice. Harmik, Selvam, Shona, Nayani, Tina, everybody of you replied correctly. And the correct answer looks somewhat like this. Here I have taken another version, full stop, subsequently, comma. All your answers are correct. Harmik, you have to place a comma after subsequently. Put a comma after subsequently, Harmik. Here, Mrs. Jones suffered an attack of cerebral palsy. Subsequently, she needed hospital admission for 4 antibiotics. I have placed a comma here. There can be another version of the same sentence. I'm writing in your chat windows. Kindly see. Mrs. Jones suffered an attack of cerebral palsy, semicolon, subsequently, comma, she needed hospital for antibiotics. This is another version of the same sentence. I told you that we can place full stop, connector, comma, or semicolon, connector, comma. If you use a semicolon, connector, comma, the person checking or analyzing your OET letter would be happier, because through that he would be able to assume that this person, this doctor or nurse, knows how to use connectors, and they also use how to use punctuation marks. So if you use full stop, connector, comma, fine. But if you use semicolon, connector, comma, the examiner would be happier and would, I don't know, would be able to give you better marks. Any problems? No, she should not be in uppercase. She should, of course, these are very basic things. You should be able to press them on your own. This is the another version. I'm writing it here. Subsequently, this is how we'll write it. Now you can see at your screens. I hope it's clear to you. Now let's come to another sentence. We could have used full stop, subsequently, comma. We have used semicolon, consequently, comma. Both are correct. Fine. This is another sentence. General retired to his study, interrupted by a knock at the door. So this is how the answer looks like. The general had retired to his study, but was subsequently interrupted by a knock at the door. Now we'll correct it over here. Study but was subsequently fine. I hope. So now here we are with the correct answers. You would be able to see on your screens the correct transformation of case notes into proper sentences. Kindly see and pay focus over here. If you have any doubts, kindly write in your chat windows. If you have any doubts here, kindly ask me. Aruna has asked a question that after study, why haven't we placed a semicolon? Because we have used a but here. And before but, yes, Zana has replied correctly, because it's fanboys. That is why. Had we used only subsequently, Aruna, had we used the general had retired to his study, semicolon, consequently, comma, he was interrupted by a knock at the door, we would have written the general had retired to his study, semicolon, subsequently, he was interrupted. I'm writing it here. Kindly look over here. This is the another method of writing. The general had retired to his study, semicolon, consequently, actually these are the very small things. These are the very small things that define the beauty of English. Subsequently, he was interrupted by a knock at the door. Okay, fine. So I have shown you all sorts of versions of using punctuation marks with connectors. Now, again, if you have any doubts, kindly let me know. The first sentence, he realized he had hurt her feelings, semicolon, subsequently, comma, he apologized. Mrs. Jones suffered an attack of cerebral palsy, semicolon, subsequently, comma, she needed a hospital admission for 4 antibiotics. General retired to his study, interrupted by a knock at the door. The general had retired to his study, comma, but was subsequently, comma, interrupted by a knock at the door. The general had retired to his study, semicolon, subsequently, comma, he was interrupted by a knock at the door. These are the correct sentences, Mercy. These are the correct sentences. No modifications are required. But yes, if you have seen my last session, why are you not asking me one question? I'm wondering. Did you guys not see my last session properly? I think so. Okay, Irfan, since I'm not a doctor, so I don't know as to what sort of an antibiotic it is. It is IV antibiotic or 4 antibiotic. You must be knowing it better. We have to come to the gist of English. Dr. Bhavna would ensure that no confusion regarding the medical knowledge of OET writing remains unturned into your brains while discussing, whereas on the other hand, I will ensure that no ambiguities or any sort of afloxetine remains in your brain after my sessions have completed. So here, one question nobody of you has asked, that why have we used a full stop after Mrs.? I told you in the last session that it's our choice. We can either use S or we can not use S. It's our choice. With this notion, I assume that the connectors and punctuation marks are clear to your brain. If yes, then reply with a Y. If not, then let me know as to what ambiguity has still remained in your brain. Okay, fine. Every one of you has replied with a Y. Very nice. Lastly, you can see this screen once again, finally. I give you 20 seconds. I want to recapitulate fanboys. Whenever we use fanboys, we will put a comma before fanboys, comma fanboys, semicolon connector, comma, or full stop connector, comma fanboys, semicolon connector, comma, or full stop connector, comma. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is again a case note. Kindly transform this case note into a complete sentence, paraphrase it in your chat windows. I want to see as to whether you are able to grab things or not. Zana, you have asked a question that is it correct if we write subsequently, comma, interrupted? Rather, he was interrupted. Subsequently interrupted is correct, but subsequently, comma, he was interrupted is forms a better meaning. For example, look at the first sentence. He realized he had hurt her feelings, subsequently apologized. Does it give a meaning? No. Subsequently, he apologized. Subsequently apologized. It looks like incomplete. No. Look at the next sentence. Mrs. Jones suffered an attack of cerebral palsy. Subsequently, she needed a hospital admission for IV antibiotics. Subsequently needed is some sort of incomplete. So subsequently, he was interrupted, but was subsequently interrupted. These are the correct ones. Okay, so you have given me the answers. Dr. Hasnath says, Mr. Ben had an episode of meningitis at the age of 2 years. 2 years, Dr. Hasnath, 2 years. And we pronounce Y-E-A-R-S, years, not years. It's years. 2 years. And nervous breakdown at the age of 5 years. Fine, Dr. Hasnath, you have given a very correct answer, but this is not what OET wants from you. Let us look at another answer by Mercy. Mercy has replied, Mr. Ben suffered from meningitis at 2 months old, semicolon, subsequently nervous breakdown at 5 years old. Mercy, a better answer than that of Dr. Hasnath. Mercy has given a more enhanced answer. Let's listen to what Mercy has replied. Mercy says, Mr. Ben suffered from meningitis at 2 months old. Semicolon, subsequently, comma, at 5 years old. Fine. Let's look at what Bakar has replied. Mr. Ben at 2 months old, 2 months old, Mr. Bakar, actually, this is not a very good looking sentence. I mean, it's not proper grammatically. And Mr. Bakar, I want to let you know that kindly seriously start taking these classes because, the way you have written it doesn't sound good. And I'm sorry, I did not intend to hurt your feelings. I'm a mentor here, I'm a teacher here. And if I do not tell you as to where you are wrong or wherever you are right, I would not be able to justify my role here. So my role here is to let you know and make you a better enhanced version of yourselves when it comes to writing OET examinations. So the most perfect answer looks like this. Mr. Ben suffered meningitis at the age of 2 months. Full stop, subsequently, comma, he experienced a nervous breakdown when he was 5 years old. This is how a beautiful transformation of these two case notes would look like. We can also enhance it. Just look at the window. Just look at the window. We can place a semicolon here, semicolon, comma, subsequently. So this is another version of the same case note. And out of all of you, I think Mercy has replied in the best of the manner, yet not very correctly, but still. So this is how a better answer looks like, and you should strive for such type of transformations. Here we have used subsequently, he experienced. We have used words like experienced, suffered, and all of you have written meningitis at 2 months old. No, meningitis at the age of 2 months old. What is this 2 months old? What? At 2 months old, what? I mean, we are able to understand what you are trying to say to us, but still, your writing should be proper. Let's come to the another connector. See, I told you we have connectors Swift cap. Swift, S stands for subsequently, then we have W, and W stands for which resulted in, and which resulted in implies the effect. What is the effect? So without much ado, let's come to a case note. Miss Briggs, 9 months old, learning to talk, Pompe disease, loss of sight hearing. Please transform this case note into a proper sentence. You can use consequently, what if, and I mean all sorts of connectors that you know. Which resulted in, try to use which resulted in this case note. Please reply in your chat windows. This is an interactive session. This is a one-to-one session where nobody is a teacher and nobody is a student. We all are at equal levels, and we at Teach You Academy strive our best and hard to give you and equip you with the latest of the knowledge. Miss Briggs, 9 months, learning to talk, Pompe disease, loss of sight and hearing. when Mrs. Briggs was 9 months of age and she was just learning to talk, she suffered from Pompe disease and hence she lost her sight and the ability to hear. This is one form in how we can transform. I repeat, when Mrs. Briggs was 9 months old and she was learning how to talk, she suffered from Pompe disease and hence lost her sight and the ability to hear. Do you have another versions to transform this case note? Please write in your chat windows. Okay, so we have come up with one answer. So Fasiha has said, Miss Briggs was learning to talk when she was 9 months old, but she developed Pompe disease, due to which she lost. Fasiha, she lost her sight is incorrect. She lost her sight and her hearing ability. This is correct. But Fasiha, we have to come up with a mature answer. Dr. Hasnath has replied, Miss Briggs learned to talk. No, she was learning to talk. How do you know she learned to talk? Has she learned talking? How do you know this? She was learning to talk, and we do not know as to whether she has learned to talk or not. So the another answer, Iru has replied, Miss Briggs at the age of 9 months was learning to speak. Subsequently, she suffered from Pompe disease and lost her sight. Iru. Mrs. Briggs was 9 months old when she started to learn talking. She suffered from Pompe disease, which resulted in loss of sight. Yes, Saida, this is somewhat nice. Let's see as to what Krishna has replied. Miss Briggs started learning to talk at the age of 9 months. Okay, fine. All these answers are not that mature. I'm not happy with these answers. So, Shona, at 9 months old, Miss Briggs, whilst learning how to talk, had suffered from Pompe disease and had lost her sight and hearing. Yes, this is somewhat correct. Dr. Hasnath, Miss Briggs learned to talk at the age of, no, learn to talk. How do you know learn to talk? Bakar, Miss Briggs, a 9-month-old boy. How do you know boy? This is Miss Briggs. Why are you incorporating boy and girl and woman and a transgender everything into this? Why is the use, Mr. Bakar? Guys, kindly start taking these sessions seriously, because this is not how you write your OET letters. This is what the correct answer looks like. Miss Briggs was stricken down by Pompe disease. which resulted in her loss of sight and hearing at the age of 9 months while she was learning to talk. And we haven't copied these case notes from somewhere. We have formulated these real life, real time case notes for you so that you are able to understand as to what the writing, paraphrasing case notes actually mean. Now there is a mistake here. Let's correct it. How will we correct it? Let's see. Miss Briggs was stricken down by Pompe disease, which resulted, Pompe disease, semicolon, or you can use a comma, which resulted in this is how the correct sentence looks like. Miss Briggs was stricken down by Pompe disease, which resulted in her loss of sight and hearing at the age of 9 months while she was learning to talk. Okay, so Tina has replied, Miss Briggs at the age of 9 months was learning to talk, semicolon, you haven't used connectors here, Tina. You haven't used any connector, and basically we have to use connectors to use to transform a sentence. Now look at your screens. Here are simple words. Miss Briggs, hyphen 9 months, hyphen learning to talk, hyphen Pompe disease, hyphen loss of sight and hearing. Now these are pieces of a string. And how many pieces are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 pieces. And we have to connect these pieces into a one sentence, which resulted in her loss of sight. This is the accurate form of using it. Mrs. Briggs was stricken down by Pompe disease, comma, which resulted in her loss of sight and hearing at the age of 9 months. While she was learning to talk. Fine. Another case note, she has had recurrent pneumonias, dash multiple hospital admissions. Kindly. Yes, Aruna, this is correct. Now see, Aruna has asked me a question that, sir, we haven't used a semicolon which resulted in comma. Why? I'll tell you. If we have to use semicolon, see, just a few minutes ago I told you that we have to use comma fanboys and a semicolon connector comma. Fine. Semicolon connector comma. So if we have to use a semicolon connector comma, we have to modify this. We have to use a semicolon comma and we have to remove her, which resulted in loss of sight and hearing. Miss Briggs was stricken down by Pompe disease, semicolon, which resulted in. which resulted in loss of sight and hearing at the age of 9 months. In the earlier section, we had used which resulted in her loss of sight. Fine. So we have this case note and you have to transform it. So Rita has replied, due to current pneumonias, she has had to visit the hospital on multiple occasions. Fine, very nice. Saida, but you haven't used the connector here, Rita. Saida replies, she has had affected by recurrent pneumonias, semicolon, which resulted in comma. Very nice, Saida. I am writing the answer of Saida in the chat window. Kindly see. This is the answer of Saida. Very nice, Saida. Applaudable performance. Very nice. So Saida has written, she has had affected by recurrent pneumonias. This is afflicted, okay, by recurrent pneumonias, semicolon, which resulted in comma, multiple admissions to the hospital. Very nice. Mariam, she has had multiple pneumonias with multiple, okay, using to multiple twice. See, these are the things you have to avoid. This is why you fail OET examinations. There are certain tricks. You have to become smart. Mariam, you are correct, but you should not use multiple 2 times. So this is how the correct answer looks like. She has had recurrent pneumonias which resulted in multiple hospital admissions, and let's correct it. She has had recurrent pneumonias, semicolon, which resulted in comma, multiple hospital admissions. This is how the correct answer looks like. Do you understand? If you understand it properly, kindly reply with a Y, or else let me know as to what problem you have. Yes, Kajal, very nice. Iru has also replied very nicely. She had used another connectors. She had to have repeated hospital admissions as a result of recurrent pneumonias. Fine, Iru, this is fine. Very nice. Okay, all of you have replied Y. So I should proceed ahead with this notion. Selvam has said she has had recurrent pneumonias which resulted in. No, Selvam. See, I am writing the answer of Selvam and it is incorrect. And we'll see as to what is it incorrect here. She has had recurrent pneumonias which resulted in, you have to remove, here you have to remove, she had multiple hospital admissions. So Selvam, this is how the correct answer looks like. I'm correcting you here personally in the chat windows. So this is how an interactive session should be. There should be one-to-one discussion. Now let's come to the last connector of this session. I would not take much time. We would discuss the next connectors in our another section, that is on the coming Sunday. So that in order to SWIFT, SWI, S for subsequently, W for which resulted in, and I for in order to. In order to implies for so that. Let's take a few examples. Mrs. Weaver had to work full time in order to earn a living for herself and her family of 5 children. Let's correct it. Mrs. Weaver had to work full time, semicolon, in order to, comma. I go on correcting the sentences in front of you so that you understand the gist. Understanding the gist is important. In order to. This is how in order to is used. Look at your chat windows and you would be able to understand how in order to is used. Now this is a case note. Kindly transform this case note into a complete meaningful sentence using connectors and write the answers in your chat windows. I would let you know as to whether your answer is correct or wrong. Rush, your answer is correct, but you should write as in small letters. As a result of in small letters. Okay, Rush? So Rita has answered, Mr. Brett, who suffered from a pain in his chest, was advised acetaminophen. No, Rita, you haven't used a connector here. Why? I'm emphasizing upon the usage of connectors, and that is what you guys are not doing. Why? Iru, Mr. Brett was advised acetaminophen in order to get rid of. Very nice. I'm writing the answer of Iru in the chat windows, and this is the correct answer. Applaudable answer. I appreciate Iru for your answers over here. Let others see your answer. In order to should be in small. Mercy has replied, Mr. Brett was advised to take acetaminophen in order to relieve his chest pain. Very nice. And this is how our correct answer looks like. I will write the answer here. We can also write this case note like this. Mr. Brett was advised acetaminophen in order to manage his chest pain. Matty has replied, as a result of pain in the chest, Mr. Brett was advised to take acetaminophen. Yes, this is also correct, Matty. I am writing the answer of Matty here. This is the answer of Matty. As a result of pain in the chest, comma, not semicolon, comma, Mr. Brett was advised to take acetaminophen. Let us look at another answers. Dr. Khan has replied, Mr. Brett has had advised acetaminophen in order to relieve his chest pain. Very nice. Mariam, Harmik, Rush. Rush, your answer is correct, but it's not a mature sentence that a doctor should write. Work hard. Go on listening to our sessions. All of you have replied appropriately, but during this session, I have experienced one thing, that all of you are replying correct answers. All of you are trying to provide the better and the appropriate information, but you till now do not have a proper knowledge of using connectors and transformation of case notes. I may sound rough to you, but the truth remains the truth, and the teacher is able to understand as to what his students are lacking properly. This is another case note, and this is the answer. Mrs. Johnson referred to district nurse, IV antibiotics at home, faster discharge. And the answer is, in order to facilitate a faster discharge, comma, Mrs. Johnson's is being referred to the district nurse for IV antibiotics at home. So this was all from my side in this first session of connectors. I hope you must have enhanced your knowledge of the usage of connectors in this session. We would continue this session and the remaining connectors out of Swift. Let's see. Today we discussed two pedagogies of learning connectors, and this was our Swift CAB. We have discussed S, W, and I. We will be discussing F, 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 T, C, A, B in our next class, in our next session. Kindly stay tuned throughout the sessions. And this is how we would be able to understand the better usage of connectors. Here I would like to take a leave and thank you very much for staying with us, for listening to us, and being a part of Teach You Academy. We promise you that we would provide you a better information in days to come through this platform, Teach You Academy. Thank you very much, Dr. Bhavna and Teach You Academy for inviting me. Here I end my section.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj. Like always, very, very helpful session. So I'm sure everyone has learned something new today and they'll be able to do better on paraphrasing the next time. Just to clarify two things, which were medical concepts, which I'll try and clarify. So Irfan just asked about IV and whether we can use the term IV as such without putting a dot in between. So all of these things, so IV, I/V, and I.V are okay, all right? Similarly, if you're talking about per rectal examination, PR, P/R, and PR, P.R, all of them are fine, okay? But I would prefer that when you give your OET, you try and write the full thing. So IV, you write intravenous rather than just IV, because that will just make your English look better. But lots of people do struggle with this, that they don't really know the full form of things. So in that case, rather than making a mistake, you can just write IV as such, but you won't get penalized if you write I.V, I/V, or IV. Lots of people had doubts in terms of whether meningitis, the M would be capital. So if we were trying to be very, very pedantic here, if you guys remember back in medical school, all of the diseases that we have are derived from Latin derivatives. So diabetes means sweet urine in Latin. Meningitis means inflammation of membranes of the brain. So because these Latin words are inflammation of brain, so that's why all of these are in small letters. So diabetes, mellitus will be both in small letters. But remember, if you're starting a sentence with this disease, then the D would be capital, okay? But you won't, this is very, very advanced medical knowledge, so you won't really be penalized for it. But one rule which is very, very important to know is that when you're talking about diseases which are named after people or named after places, like Pompey's disease, Leishman syndrome, so all of them are named after people. Addisonian disease, Cushing syndrome, all of them are named after people who discovered them or places where they were found. So that's why they would be in capital letters. So Pompey's disease will be in capital letters. That's the only thing that I wanted to add to today's session. But I hope that you liked this session. Mr. Manoj has always been really good with teaching English to non-native speakers. So I hope you've learned. Said, we'll send you a PDF. If you can just resend us your email. It might have gone to your junk mail address. So if you just email us your address again, and I'll try and sending it in again. Mercy has asked, can pneumonia be pluralized? And I won't really write pneumonias, but on the OED you won't get penalized for this. But in proper medical English, you write episodes of pneumonia or episodes of meningitis rather than pneumonias. Okay. My email, our email address is teacheracademy@gmail.com. In case, just send me your email. Send me your email as on this email address rather than typing it on the chat window, because when I close the app, all of this will disappear. Guys, make sure that you practice paraphrasing and practice connectors. Before Sunday, please go back to go back to the YouTube video showing this session as well as past sessions. Otherwise, you'll just make Mr. Manoj very angry again. So make sure that you revise your connectors before you join your next session. So just make sure, Mercy, yes, pneumonias is incorrect. It should be episodes of pneumonia or multiple episodes of pneumonia rather than pneumonias. That's a medical term, so that's why I'm clarifying it now. Please make sure that you send me your email in the form of an email. So you need to email teacheracademy@gmail.com to receive your PDF. If you want to participate in the writing check, go to our website, which is teacheracademy@gmail.com, to look at our sample writing checks. And if you're interested, you can enroll in it. But that's it for today. Just make sure that, guys, you revise before you join in subsequent sessions, because we do refer back to our previous sessions before. So you do need to have a background knowledge in order to make the session more interesting and more valuable for you. So we're going to sign off now. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Manoj. Very helpful session, like always. In case we have any problems in medical knowledge, we will be clarifying them at the end of session. So if you have any medical questions, I'm happy to answer them later on. But in Mr. Manoj's session, we will concentrate on grammar. Okay, just to make sure that everyone's aware of that. So we're going to sign off now. Thank you so much again for joining, and I hope you guys had fun. Good luck.
Are you recording?
मैं और शायद मुझे मन नहीं हो रहा है।